Okay, so warm welcome everyone to your introduction to stock investing. I'm Priyanka Bhatia from Women on Wealth. And before we begin, a few guidelines. So this session will go on for about 60 minutes. Sorry, it will be till 12 p.m. So 1 hour session. If you have any questions, do make sure you write them on your papers and we will answer them in the Q&A time, which will come in about 45 minutes. Do make sure you are making notes. So consider us as the money school for women. And like in any money school, you go and you learn. So you focus on your education and you make notes, you learn more and more by asking more questions, engaging more. So exactly that is what you need to be doing in the next 1 hour of this session. So make sure you're engaging a lot in the chat. Do type in the chat, okay? And make sure you learn more and more in this session. Now about Women on Wealth. So Women on Wealth is all about helping women take charge of their finances. So we run online financial training and coaching programs so that women can learn how they can manage their money and grow it effectively. We have now been operational for the last 10 years and have helped over 4,000 women. These women have become debt free. They've come out of living paycheck to paycheck. They today save at least 25% more than they ever saved. Many women have learned the methodology to pick good quality stocks, good quality mutual funds, and other investments. Today, they have built a portfolio, an investment portfolio on their own without depending on their husband, father, broker. Many women today are recognized as the finance ministers of their house, and they are getting involved in major financial decision making in their families. So, guys, if you look at finance, it has majorly been a male domain in our families. And our intention at Women on Wealth is to make it gender free so that more and more women can take charge of their finances and they can get involved in major financial decision making. We at Women on Wealth believe that finance is a system. It is not a gender role. It is not something that only men can do. Women can learn finances too. It is just a system, and we got to acquaint ourselves with that system, and that's about it. So, art of picking quality stocks for beginners is one of our online financial training programs that we run at Women on Wealth. And today you are in a special introduction to this program of ours. Okay. We also run a lot of free resources for women. So you can like our Facebook page. There are a lot of free videos around finances, financial management that you will learn from. So the page link will be shared shortly. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We are also extremely active with our Money Book Club. This is a free platform for women who want to learn about money, and we can learn about money from various books around money. So in our Money Book Club, we read various books around money and we discuss them every Wednesday. So this is also a free resource that you can use. So do make sure you like us, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and join our free Money Book Club and participate in the discussions. So, a little bit about me. I'm Priyanka Bhatia from Women on Wealth. And if you ever thought that you need to be great with finances, numbers, investments to be a great stock investor, an intelligent stock investor, then know that I have not studied finance. I have never worked in an investment bank. I have never been great with numbers even. I have studied journalism. That's what I have my master's degree in. I used to be a reporter with news agencies like the Press Trust of India, United News of India, where I had great salary. And I used to spend that salary on branded shoes, clothes, bags, because that's what I knew best. I always wanted to take charge of my finances. I wanted to create wealth, but I just didn't know how to do that. And I got a big shock when one of my male colleagues ended up buying a property. He was at the same position as mine, same salary as mine, and he ended up buying a property while I had not even managed to save that much money. So that's where my quest to wealth began. And I thought the first person to take guidance from is my dad. And like any well meaning man, my dad said, why don't you do some PPF, public provident fund, fixed deposits? All our dads have, I think, at some point in our lives, directed us to traditional investments. So, same way I was directed. And when I did them, I realized that the rates of return were really low. And at that time, I had big goals. I wanted to buy my own property in Delhi NCR, earn from my investments, ultimately build a corpus for my business. And I knew none of those goals were possible if I continue to manage my money the way I was investing and handle it the way I was investing. So something had to really change. I knew I had to take some different actions to get a different result. And one of the different actions that showed up for me was to check with my male colleague. And this male colleague is exactly the same colleague who bought a property. So when I checked on him, he mentioned that he invests in the stock market. So straight I went ahead, opened a demat account, got myself a broker. I started buying and selling whatever my broker told me to do, only to realize in 2008 that I lost 90% of what I had invested. And at that time, I was so sad and disgusted with what had happened that I just thought wealth creation was not for me. I should give up. I should just chuck it. And I literally chucked it until I found my mentors. So I found one woman stock investor, a property investor, a serial entrepreneur, and a business coach. And when these guys began to guide me, they gave me small exercises to do, and financial clarity began to emerge in my life. Like I exactly knew how much money was coming into my life, how much money was going out, where that money was going, how much money I needed to reach my financial goals, where I needed to invest, and how much I needed to invest to reach my goals. My stock investor mentor taught me a step by step methodology to pick good quality stocks. And when I managed to pick them, I went back to the stock market with a lot of courage. And it was different this time because I started by making 70,000 rupees in 120 minutes. And I kept making money like that to a point that I could buy my own property in Delhi NCR. I live in Delhi NCR, everyone, and Rutuja, our team member, is in Bombay. And I started earning from my investments. I was earning more than what my expenses were. And at that time, I knew that I was free to take up meaningful projects in my life. I was free to kind of start Women on Wealth. So 2010, late December, I quit my job. 2011, we started Women on Wealth. Since then, there's been no looking back. We've served over 4,000 women. We run a very strong women investors community. We run the courses around financial education for women only. And we've been covered in the BBC News, NDTV 24/7 News Channel, Z Business News Channel, Femina Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine, and a series of women's blogs and posts. Also, Sherry Blair, who is wife of Mr. Tony Blair, wrote about us in the Huffington Post. And she offered us the India partnership to the Sherry Blair Foundation. So now we nominate women from India to her foundation. And she is the one who wrote herself in the Huffington Post about us. So that's a little bit about me and us at Women on Wealth. Now it's about you. How about you guys start typing what are your financial goals that bring you to this session, this special session on Introduction to Stock Investing? Start typing, everyone. What are your goals? What brings you to this session? Why are you in this session? One of you has joined as iPhone. Please rename yourself or type your name in the chat. Yeah. Also, Gauri, we don't have your contact details, so please make sure you type in them here so that we know who you are. Okay, what are our goals, everyone? Start typing them in. Why learn stock investing? Why show up for this session? Okay, Rajashri is sharing that she has no knowledge of the share market and investments. So she wants to gain knowledge. She wants to understand how to invest. I just put my money in a savings bank account. Got that, Rajashri. You spoke for many of us here, trust you me. Got it. What about others? Neha, Sumita, Kiran, start typing. Vidhu, Angelika, Trishi, Vandana, Priyanka, Maria, Miti. What brings you to this session? Start typing. What made you get up on this super special Sunday morning, not Saturday morning, and begin on this session? I want to be financially free. That's Trishi. And have a good saving in my account. I never saved with planning, and I end up saving all the saved money in few months. Got that, Trishi? Got that. So the intention is being able to be financially free. Maria is sharing that she has no knowledge of stocks and market whatsoever. Hence, she would like to have some financial stability and independence. Got that. Vidhu is looking to start with a small investment. She's been handed a demat account from her mom, and she's very recently bought a few stocks. There were many terms which she didn't understand, and she wants clarity on what she's seeing on my screen when she logs in. Okay. So when she logs in, what is she seeing on her screen? That's the clarity she's looking for. Investing money into a profitable return is Neha. Sumita is here because she wants to learn about stocks and earn a lot. Got that. Neha does PPFs and RDs and fixed deposits, and she wants to go beyond. Kiran wants to learn about the stock market. She's a beginner. She wants to start with a small investment. Got it. Angelika has been all over the place with respect to finances. She would like to change that and take charge and create wealth to be independent, financially free. Okay. To be financially independent and financially free. And she wants to build a corpus for her son's higher education. And the son right now is 6 year old. Got that, Angelika? That's very, very specific. Building a corpus for my kids' higher education. So, guys, whether your goal is to build for your retirement, your kids' higher education, buying that large diamond ring, taking your husband on an exotic vacation, taking your parents on a vacation, or any other goal, whichever goal you have is possible with stock investing, because today, women of today have the opportunity to join this mega space, which actually helps women earn a lot of returns. So, on this note, let's begin with stock investing today. So, guys, before we actually begin on just stock investing, let's talk about the three top ways to create wealth. Because other than stock investing, there are two more ways to create wealth. So, one, of course, is stock investing. Another way to make money, generate returns is property investing. And third is building your own business. So these are the three top ways to make money. I mean, look around. If you know anyone around you who's created wealth, you will notice that they've created wealth through these three ways. Now, let's talk about the differences in these three ways. Now, if you look at property investing, for property investing, you require a huge sum of money. So, you require a lump sum amount, a big corpus. And of course, given today's property market conditions, you need to be invested in it for a long term before you generate returns. So at least 7, 8, 10 years before you begin generating returns on your property investments. The liquidity is low. So when I say liquidity, I mean that the property cannot be sold right now. It takes a few months, okay, 6 months plus before you can sell any property. And the skills that you require in stock investing are, identifying the right location, then having that kind of money management skills to be able to manage all that cash, managing the people, the brokers, going to the registrar office, understanding the paperwork. So there are a lot of different set of skills which are required, especially around property identification, people handling, and understanding the papers. So these are three major skills which are required in property investing. If you look at stock investing, you can begin with a small amount, right? You don't require such a high amount of investment like you require in property. So in stocks, you require just a low amount of investment. You can even begin with 1,000 rupees in your pocket. You can generate returns within the next 3 to 5 years. So I am not talking about gambling here, guys. So just shortly, we will share the method of stock investing that we have. And we're talking about investing and generating returns in the next 3 to 5 years. The liquidity is extremely high, which means anything that you buy today, right now, you can sell it in the market the next second. So the market is open from Monday to Friday, 9:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. That's the time of the market that it is open for, and at any given point in between that, you can sell your stocks. And there are just three skills that you require in stock investing. One is being able to identify good quality stocks. How you build this skill is you will learn the step-by-step methodology to pick good quality stocks. Once you learn the step-by-step methodology, you will be able to identify good quality stocks. Number two is identifying the right time to buy those stocks. And number three is identifying the right time to sell those stocks. So those are the three top skills that you require for stock investing. Now, the third and the last way to make money, which is business building. You just don't know how much money you need to be investing over time in your business for it to generate returns for you. So it's an undetermined amount that you need to invest. Any business will take at least 5 to 7 years to give you returns. So it's a long-term investment again. So if you notice, businesses and properties both are long-term investments, while stocks can be medium to long-term. There is no liquidity of a business. You don't know if the business has reached a position where it can be sold. And there are endless number of skills that you require for business building. It's like people management, business planning, team building, team nurturing, finance, marketing, sales. And it's endless, the number of skills that you require for business building. So when I look at all these three ways together, what I notice is that even for myself, it has happened for my own portfolio, where stock investing has been the easiest. We generated returns within 3 years, 4 years of investment. And some of our investors, women investors in our women investors community, they have generated over 100% return in stock investing in just 3 years, 4 years of investing. But that has only been possible because they became intelligent investors. They did not invest on hearsay. They actually depended on their own research to make their investments. So guys, on this note, I want to share how stock investing has been the easiest for me and the entire community that we run at Women on Wealth. So now let's begin with learning stock investing. And how can we learn stock investing? Yeah. So there are a few steps. The first step is resolving to start. Do make sure you're making notes. Okay. If you want to create wealth, the first step that you need to take on is resolve to start. So for all the goals that you wrote here in the session today, guys, for how long these goals have been with you? Like for how long you've been thinking, oh, I must, gain knowledge around stock investing. I must learn this. I have my kids' higher education to fund, or I have my own retirement goals. So for how long you've been having these goals with you? Is it like a few years, 10 years, 2 years, 2 months? Start typing, everyone. For how long you've been having these goals? It's not that you came to this session and all of a sudden you discovered your goals, right? Okay, Vidhu has been having them for over 10 years. Got that, Vidhu. Neha, 2. Maria, 4 years. Got that. Priya, 10 years. Sumita, 7. Meeti is 5. Got that, everyone. So many, many years, right? Kiran, 2 years. And we've been thinking about these goals and we've never started on them. So the first step to wealth creation, the first step to reaching your goals is resolving to start. No more letting any excuse come in the way of you getting there, you reaching your goals. Often we say, okay, let me just wait till my kids grow up, right? Let me wait because my parents are not well right now. I need to be taking care of them. Or okay, I'm just going on a holiday right now. Let me do that after I come back from my holiday, and that holiday actually never ends, and so on. We often get stopped by our own excuses and circumstances. And today, the first step to create wealth invites you to resolve to start. No matter what circumstances, no matter what is happening in your life, because only decisions change financial destiny. If you can decide without sitting on the fence, you're going to alter your financial destiny. So type in resolved if you're resolving to start right now, today, no matter what. So, how many of you are resolving to start on your financial journey today, on your journey to being an intelligent investor? Type in resolved. Got that, Neha? Vidhu, Meeti, Mara. Got that? Me. Yes, Mara. Absolutely. Sumita, Angelika, Kiran. Got it. Acknowledging each one of you for resolving to start. Now, the second step, everyone. When you want to create wealth, the second step is learning how do I research. So, like I shared, okay, that finance is a system. It is a step by step methodology. Example, because you're here for the purpose of stock investing, let me share this with you that there is a step by step methodology to pick good quality stocks. So you need to learn that method. You need to learn this system and then go out there and invest. It's a classic mistake when we make when we just invest on hearsay. Just because a friend said, husband said, news channel said, a broker said, a newspaper said that, okay, invest here, and we go ahead and just invest without learning the method, without even understanding why we are buying this. What is so special about this stock? So the second step to wealth building is learning to research, learning the methodology to pick good quality stocks, because finance is a system, everyone. Third step is you need to build your attitude as an investor. So somebody who's focused, somebody who's willing to learn at all times, somebody who's persistent, who is disciplined. So you got to build this attitude, because you can't succeed, you can't become financially successful without these. Number 4, you need mentors. Notice I'm not saying advisors, I'm not saying brokers. You need mentors, you need people who are financially educated themselves, and they're picking their own quality stocks and generating returns without depending on anybody in their lives. Because if you're striving for freedom, true financial independence, then you need to free yourself up from all the dependence on your husband, broker, analyst, anybody in your life. So guys, note that mentors are a key. Mentors are men and women who have financially educated themselves. They are making their independent financial decisions, and they could help you make your decisions too. So mentors are a key. And 5th is a community, which is a secret success ingredient. When you are surrounded by financially successful people, you will be financially successful too. We're all equal to the 5 people around us, everyone. And if those 5 people are financially successful people, we'll be financially successful too. Okay. So the key is reaching for that financial success. Okay. So repeating the steps, everyone. Number 1, just identifying your goals are not enough. You need to identify the goals and resolve to start. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is you need to learn how to research stocks. You need to learn what is that step-by-step methodology to pick good quality stocks, because finance is a system. Number 3, you need to build an attitude of an investor, because without that attitude, focus, persistence, discipline, willingness to learn, being an open mind and open heart, it won't work. You won't be successful financially. 4th, have a mentor who's a stock investor herself, himself, is making educated decisions, is not dependent on brokers, advisors to tell him or her what to do. Because you are all striving for financial independence, and that independence, okay, independent decision making around finances can be made with people who are making independent decisions. And 5th, having a community. Okay, those are the steps. So let's start with some learning something around stock investing today. So, people who know the basics, okay, you can kind of just listen through. But people who don't know the basics, I am doing these specially for you. Often we are asked, what is a stock market? Okay. So a stock market is a market where stocks are bought and sold. Okay. A stock market is a market where stocks are bought and sold. Now, what are stocks? Stocks are companies which are listed in the stock market. So, stocks are nothing but companies listed in the stock market. Like, how many of us have heard of Asian Paints? Type in me if you've heard of Asian Paints. Have you heard of Asian Paints? Yes, all of you have, right? Now, it's a stock. At the same time, it's a company which produces paints. Okay, so stocks are nothing else. These are companies which are listed in the stock market. And what do we research? What do we have to research? When we say research stocks, what do we have to research? We research how these companies are doing financially. Any company which is doing well financially will also do well in the stock market. Okay, guys, this is the most critical part. None of us are gamblers here. We are not punters. So we do educated study. And what do we study? We study the financial performance of these companies, which are listed in the stock market. When we study the financial performance of these companies that are listed in the stock market, any company that is doing well financially will also do well in the stock market in the long run. So what we need to learn to research is, how do we study the financial performance of companies? Okay, so that's the key. There is a big difference, guys, between trading and stock investing. Okay, and here I am talking about stock investing. So if you have any goals, like you want to build your kids higher education fund, you want to build your financial freedom, you want to create wealth, you want to be creating that corpus for your parents, then all those goals require that you generate wealth. And wealth creation is possible with investing in the stock market. This is an educated way of investing in stocks. While another way is stock trading, okay, which is daily buying and selling, which we do not engage in, because we do not engage in any kind of speculation. Okay, we here are intelligent investors, educated investors, knowledgeable investors, and we believe in the art of investing for wealth creation. It's an educated way of studying a company's financial performance. You study a company's financial performance, you identify that's great performance, and then you know that this will do well in the stock market. You buy into it and you let it generate returns for you and help you become a wealth creator, a wealth builder. Okay, so that's the difference between trading and investing. Investing is for the long term, it is for wealth creation. Trading is for the short term, it's more speculative. And should you be investing through tips? Never. That's not the right way to invest. If you ever want to invest, you need to be learning the method to pick good quality stocks, learn the method yourself, and then invest. It's like how we teach our kids that first be in school, study well. Once you've studied well, then go for a job or a business. The same way is with investing or stock investing. First, you need to learn investing and then invest, and then you will generate returns. So you got to follow the method. The moment you slip steps, the moment you miss the steps, you're going to make a loss. Yeah, and I'm sure you've heard of people who make losses in the stock market, and that is because they do not study, they do not research their own stocks. They're investing on tips, hearsay. Yeah, and that's not the way forward. So let's go on. Let's really look at what is, how is intelligent investing done? What is being a knowledgeable investor? Shortly, just a while ago, I shared that what we need to learn is a step-by-step methodology to pick good quality stocks, right? That's what we need to learn. So let me introduce you to one of the steps in this entire method of stock investing. So I'm introducing you to the step one. There are many steps in this methodology. Let's begin with step number one inside of this commitment of building finance as a system in our lives. So guys, imagine, okay? Imagine that there is a business that you know, okay? And that business is a 30-year-old business, 30 years old. Please note down, okay? This business is a 30-year-old business. It has a debt, a loan of about 1 crore rupees. It doesn't has enough cash to pay off that loan. Also, it is not making enough profits to pay off the debt. 30-year-old business, loan of 1 crore rupees, okay, in its finances, you can see it. Cash not enough to pay off the debt. also is not making enough profit to pay off the debt. Given this financial performance, keeping everything else aside, guys, just given this financial performance, if somebody invites you to invest in this business, would you invest? Just type in yes or no. Got that? Angelika, Meeti, Trishi, Maria, Kiran, Neha. Absolutely, guys. You're all correct. None of us, given this financial performance, none of us would ever invest in such a business. And what are companies? Companies are businesses. So when you look at stocks, you're actually looking at company's performance, you're looking at its business's performance. Okay. Now let me show you how to really see this in practical sense. How many of us have heard of a company called Tata Motors? Type in heard if you've heard of this company. And I want everybody participating. Yes, you've heard of this company, right? Got that. Got that. So let's look at how this company is performing financially as far as this test is concerned. And in our methodology, we call this the debt test. Okay. So let's look at how we study this company. Okay. So we will look at a website that's called screener.in, everyone. So this is a tool that we use to study financial performance of companies. Yeah, I trust you can see my screen, and that is screener.in. Okay. You can search any company here. So I'm just taking example, okay, of Tata Motors. So the page of Tata Motors will open on screener.in the moment you search for it. Okay. And now what we're doing is we are doing the debt test on Tata Motors. So remember, the first step in this test was to look at the total debt of the company, total debt of the business. So we go into balance sheet. Okay. This is balance sheet. Here you click. You will look at March 2020. So April 1st to 31st March is the financial year in our country. So all the financial statements are built for this financial year. The last financial year that is complete is April 1st, 2019 to 31st March 2020. So we will look at the current financial year and we will look at borrowings of this company. Okay. And can you see all the figures here are in rupees crore. So the borrowings of Tata Motor, okay, is 1,24,788 crores. Please write this down, everyone. That's the debt of Tata Motors. 1,24,788 crores only. That's step one. Now, step number two. Let's look at how much cash Tata Motors has. Is it enough to pay off the borrowings? Is it enough to pay off the debt? So we go into cash flow. In cash flow, again, we will look at the last financial year, which is March 2020. And we will look at the net cash flow of the company. Net cash flow of Tata Motors is minus 3,092. Okay, guys, minus 3,092. Now, clearly, a negative cash flow cannot pay off the debt of the company. So now, if the company does not have enough cash to pay off its debt, let's look at its profits. Let's see if the profits are enough to pay off the debt. So we look at profit and loss here. Going to profit and loss, let's look at March 2020. March 2020, see this net profit, everyone. This is what you will see, net profit. Net profit of Tata Motors is minus 12,071 crores. Now, what does minus profit means? It means there's a loss. Even a year before, it has loss of 28,000 crores. Tell me, can a company pay off its debt with losses? Type in yes or type in no. Can a company pay off its debt with losses? No. Brilliant, guys. So now all of you got the debt test. Okay. That's the first step. Anytime ever in your life from now onwards, you ever hear about a company and people are saying, go ahead and invest, it will make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. You will first sit down and do the debt test. You will notice 99% companies will fail the debt test. They are not making enough profits, nor do they have enough cash to pay off their debts. If a company is not making enough profit to pay its own debt, how will it make money for you in the stock market? It can never make money for you in the stock market. It may do that in some small trading, small speculation, but it's not a long-term wealth creator. Okay. Only when a company passes this debt test do we do 30 more tests, everyone. Okay. We do 30 more tests once a company passes the debt test to identify if it is worth investing our hard-earned money in. Okay. So only when a company passes the debt test will we do 30 more tests on it to identify if it is worth investing our hard-earned money in. If it is not, we do not invest in it. And people who have used this system in our community, they are today generating over 100% return on their investments. And that is what is possible with knowledgeable investing, with intelligent investing. And it is high time that we women take it on and build our identity as wealth creators. Before I move on, anyone, any questions on this debt test? Have all of you gotten it? Please type in got it if you got the debt test. Because this is the most critical part. If you learn this test, you will never make losses in your life on stocks. Got that? Everyone. Beautiful. Priyanka, Trishi, Sumita, Maria, Kiran, acknowledging each one of you. Miti, Neha, the profit, we can at max look at 2-year profits and see if it pays off the debt. We can't wait for more than 2 years profit, because innovation and the company needs to really innovate itself and kind of build new systems and structures for which it needs to keep investing in its business. So not more than 2 years profits can be used in the payment of debt. At max, we can look at 2 years profit. And when we saw Tata Motors, both the years had losses. Okay, you can add the last 2 years, Angelika. Add the last 2 years profit. See if it can pay off the debt. It couldn't, right? And Screener. Is Screener reliable? Well, yes, that's why, I don't get paid by Screener to kind of, promote it. So yeah, because we use it in our community. You can also use Money Control. Of course, I don't get paid by any of these tools. Okay. We use them for building our knowledge, for picking good quality stocks. So we are kind of passing the information on. Sharing is caring. That's what we believe in. Any other questions, anyone? Type in no questions if you don't have any questions, please. No questions. Okay, got that, Vidhu. Got that, Priyanka. Okay, Sumita, Trishi, everyone. Angelika, got that. Great. So let's move forward then. Let me now talk about a few mistakes that often I've seen investors make. Number one mistake that people make is they will not do thorough research. So they would not even know how to research, and they would not even learn how to research. and they would want to take the shortcut of directly investing and making money. Shortcuts don't work, guys. There is no get rich quick scheme in the stock market. It may, you may have that perception, and I invite each one of you to kind of give up on that, because there is no get rich quick scheme here. You got to learn how to research good quality stocks. You got to research them on your own. This will require a little hard work, a little time, a little effort from your side. There is no get rich quick, like I said earlier. There are no shortcuts. You got to learn it. You got to invest your time in it. You can't be financially dependent on tips, on on hearsay. Like, tell me, can you diet for me and I will lose weight? Can that happen? That you diet for me and I will lose weight, you exercise for me and I become physically fit? Can that happen, guys? Yes, no? Maria, I like that big ha 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 coming from you. Right. So all of us get, right, that it's not possible. Each one of us, if we want to be physically fit, yeah, I so wish that could happen, right, Trishi? So, if we want to be physically fit, we want to be healthy, then we got to do something about it. Nobody else can do it for us. The same way is around finances, stock investing, wealth creation. We want to invest well in stocks. We want to generate great returns. We got to invest well. And how we can invest well is by building our knowledge, learning the methodology. So that's one classic mistake I've often seen people make. They'll not do thorough research. They'll depend on stocks and tips. So make sure you're not forgetting to invest in your financial education. I know financial education has been missing from our school and college system, and that's why we are plugging that gap, because without that, it is very difficult to reach our goals. Doing it alone, it's a big mistake. There are over 5,000 companies listed in the stock market, guys. It's very, very difficult to research these companies on our own by ourselves and invest, and then, stay through for all the years we've been investing. So that's not how you do it. Time horizon: invest money that you do not need soon. I have often seen people invest money that they will need soon. That's not how you invest in the stock market. Also, another mistake is never ever to invest in a brand. Just because a company is a brand, you don't invest in it. Okay? You saw Tata Motors is a very big brand, everyone, but it's not the company of the future. That's not how you invest in it. Okay? So that's the critical part. Okay, guys, before we move forward, any questions? Time for some questions and answers. What are the questions you have? Any questions around stock investing, around picking stocks, around the stock market? Do you have anything now? How is NSE and BSE different? So NSE is the National Stock Exchange, Vidhu, and BSE is the Bombay Stock Exchange. These are just the two stock exchanges in our country. Bombay Stock Exchange is smaller. It has lesser companies, while NSE is much bigger. Right? So it's the difference of the size, and that's how it is. Neha, you're asking for some tips. You're making the classic mistake that I just shared. I can tell you some stocks. Do you think you will make money? There are tips floating right, left, and center. Have you made money with those tips? Do you really think it helps? And well, I am not an advisor, guys. Let me tell you, my mission and the entire Women on Wealth team's mission, we are 5 women in the team, and we are a community of 4,000 women. In our community, we've never seen people making wealth with tips. They've all made money because they became knowledgeable investors. Uh, So where do you open your demat account? Always open it in your bank. Okay, banks are the safest bet because other people tend to kind of make a mess while there's a lot at stake, including their banking license. So banks is something that I highly recommend people look at for demat accounts. Yes, there will be very small difference between the rates of the two. NSE, BSE will have very little difference. It's like 10 paisa, sometimes 1 rupee at max, not more than that. Okay, that's the difference between the two. So what should we look out for? NSE because it's bigger. You want to start now, how to do that, you're not aware. So we run a program. Okay, all of you got introduced. I think some of you have come from the Gurgaon moms community. You saw a post where a lot of our community members recommended us. So yes, you could begin with our training course on stock investing. I will shortly share the details. Should we opt for brokers? They often go and kind of misuse our stocks. So I never recommend brokers. I always look at demat accounts in banks. Equity is equity investments are like investing in stocks, and market is the stock market with you. So the bank where we should open, yes, so wherever you have a salary account, Priyanka, is a good place. But before you open the demat account, learn how to pick good quality stocks. Otherwise, what are you going to buy? You can open a demat account and start paying the yearly charges, right? There are yearly charges to that. But what's the point of opening a demat account if you don't even know which are the stocks you should select and why you should select them? Yes, you can open a demat account in India, even if you're staying outside, Kiran. It is possible. A lot of NRIs invest. A lot of NRIs are in our community too, and they invest in India. And India is one of the emerging markets which is generating the most returns for any investor in the world. So yes, the first choice must be India. What is rolling return? Rolling return is different with who. So example, say rates of return from today is say the 6th of Feb. So the rolling return will be 6th of Feb last year 2020 to 5th of Feb 2021. That's a rolling return. Okay, so just a day before tak or usse ek saal pehle tak. That's how. That's what's rolling return. Okay, interesting. Okay, so closing the question and answer session here. Any of you who are interested in knowing more about our course, are you guys interested? Could you type in interested? Then I can share the details. Can I get a mentor and learn through you? Yes, we have mentors in our community and we help you learn the art of picking quality stocks. Also, we have a community of women stock investors. So not only do you learn with us, you kind of persist with us for many years to come because you don't do stock investing at once, like for once. Yeah. So we have a course and a community. Got that. So Maria, Neha, Angelika, Sumita, Vidhu, Kiran, thank you. I needed this permission before I share the curriculum of the course. Meeti, thank you. Okay, let me now share the curriculum with you guys. Okay. So the course that we run is called Art of Picking Quality Stocks for Beginners. Okay? And you're all invited to jump in today for that. So in this program, what you get is you begin building your stocks portfolio of at least 2 shares within the program. So within this 6-week program, you will begin by investing in 2 shares with your own study. You will learn a step-by-step method to examine the truth about companies and their stock offerings. So you will learn this step-by-step method. You will implement it. It is a practical program and you will buy 2 shares. Also, you will open the demat account within the course if you don't have one. You will build confidence to talk about stocks, companies, and the market with people in your life. Once you successfully complete this course, you get an access to a dynamic learning, doing, and sharing paid community of women stock investors. So this is what you get. There are a total of 6 sessions, approximately 1 hour each week. So every week for 6 weeks, we meet once a week and you will learn these steps. So I'm now sharing the session by session information. In classrooms 1, 2, and 3, which are 1 hour each, we lay the fundamentals of stock investing and we get you started on the process of identifying stocks, which can make you money in the stock market. The takeaways from these classrooms are that you learn the process of picking worthy stocks, which would fall the least during bad times, and they appreciate well in value over a period of time. You learn how to read annual reports, what they're really saying, and what to look for in them. Classrooms 4, 5, and 6, again, 1 hour each online. We help you learn how to judge the financial performance of the stocks that you've selected by calculating important financial ratios. The takeaways from these classrooms are that you learn about the important financial ratios, which help you further select the best quality stocks in the market. An Excel sheet structure is shared so that you don't have to worry about calculations. We've made it easy for you. Your job is to just insert the data of your selected stocks and it will give you all the information on the ratios. So this Excel sheet structure is shared with you in the course. The next batch, guys, is on Saturday, Feb 27, 3 to 4 p.m. This will be on Zoom exactly like this. And you can register today by booking your seat. The total investment in yourself is 20,000 rupees in a batch. You pay in installments. So you pay 2,000 rupees to book your seat today, right now. You pay 8,000 rupees by Feb 8th, which is day after tomorrow. So by Feb 8th, you pay 8,000 rupees. So a total of 10,000 rupees you are paying before the course begins. The balance 10,000 you're paying after 2 sessions of the program, which means by March 6, you will be paying balance 10,000 rupees. So 10,000 rupees you pay this month, 2,000 today, 8,000 by Feb 8th, and balance 10,000 by March 6th. How you pay? You can Google Pay or Paytm to the Women on Wealth number. This is the Women on Wealth number, 9818540023. You can UPI 9818540023 at ICICI. So people who are watching us on Facebook, closing the live, do stay in touch and register.